Alrighty. What is up, guys? I am doing some Baron Samedi gameplay. In particular, this game, I'm going to focus on teaching how to play Baron Samedi with the mentality and playstyle I'd recommend you put in the solo lane. Now, this matchup is not optimal for this particular teaching point because he's playing Vulcan, who you're not going to see in the solo lane, essentially ever. But I'll go ahead and play this game. I'm not going to... The build of the solo lane build, obviously, is geared towards beating physical gods, which he is not. So, I'll have to switch up the whole mentality of this approach.
Just my style.
Alrighty. Now with Baron in particular, I think skill priority goes definitely tier 2 because it's a heal and it's just really strong.
Minions have spawned.
Now, quick like PSA, I have not played Baron in a long time, so little read there. I know that backfire obviously sends them backwards, so you know, I just play accordingly. Oh my god. The most important thing you can do as Baron Samedi is just hit your 2. Just hit your 2, hit your 2, hit your 2.
First blood.
So as you can see, Baron's really good. You just have range, you know? This ability's range is alright. This ability's range is kind of crazy. And as you can see, you just throw stuff out. Like, just throw it out. As far as it'll go. Poke your opponent, you know? You know, because think about it. When you're up against a melee god, it'll be even easier than what you're watching me do. Because they're just not going to have the mobility. Vulcan's backfire... When this guy was, you know, thinking about it, he could use backfire to avoid my damage. Now, right now, I've been using his backfire to hit him. But I think he'll wise up eventually, if he's, you know, good at the game. Something you always want to consider is how do your opponent's abilities interact with your own. Something the guy in the last game did really well. And it was the matchup was I was just gonna get his beads.
The party's this way.
Yep. See, like that was really smart. He turned to backfire himself to safety instead of what he did last time, which was backfiring into me. I mean, you see that heal, like that that's kind of the Hail Mary, not the Hail Mary. Whatever people would say. That's your fight winning ability right there. And your 3 is also really important because it secures the 2, you know. I would say both of those abilities are equally important. The reason I'm comfortable to stay here and just trade is because I know my ult will eventually be off cooldown. Sooner than his will, and he has no beads, so things will go bad for him before they go bad for me. I still have shell as well. Now, when it comes to Baron, I do like the split build. I think leveling the 3, no, it really doesn't do anything. Yeah, okay, so don't level 3. I used to level the 3 just kind of, I thought it made the root longer, but since it doesn't, just max the 1 and the 2. You see, I leveled the 2 until I literally couldn't anymore. Then I put a point
Ta-da!
into, you know, my 1.
Just my style.
I noticed how I prioritize finishing items. That's something you weren't really doing yesterday. If you're not Daniel and you're watching this video, like just, I'm talking to Daniel, but you know, you can learn as well. Obviously, you guys know not to split build. Oh, shh. Yeah, I'm rusty. Still the ult since I'll be able to actually land it next fight. Come here, boy.
Free your soul.
This is uncomfortable.
Ta-da!
Try better next time.
Huh. As you can see, when you build Baron with damage, he does plenty of damage. And even if you had more of a hybrid build, it's more of an attrition fight at that point, but you'd still come out on top if you just land your abilities consistently. Also, Baron's Chalice provides just constant sustain of health and mana, which is really good. I think Baron's a really good conquest god. I think you should try him out. Look at this trade. I mean, like, come on. It's so easy.
Ta-da!
And remember, I'm gonna have, right now I have 10% CDR. Before you know it, I'm about to have max. Now, what is that? 40.
Ta-da!
Let's check my cooldowns right now. We got 9.9, 12, 8, and 81.
A gift.
Now we're down
For
to
me.
7, 9, 6, and 63. And of course, this ability takes 1 second off abilities on cooldown every 10 seconds. So that's even lower. And now I actually have max CDR. 5.4, 6.6, 8.4, 54 seconds. 54 second ult. That means your opponent will beads it once, and then the next, you can get off 2 or 3 more ults where their beads won't be up. Just because of how fast your cooldowns are. And consider this. I can also build Genji's Guard here. So really against a mage, I would probably say you want to get Lifesteal Boots. And then just go Genji's Guard, that we don't overcap cooldown. Because Genji's Guard also subtracts cooldowns from abilities.
Come.
That was really sloppy. Real sloppy. But as you can see, my heal balances trades. And my cooldowns are low now. Okay, he's kind of playing me right now. Remember the cooldowns? Low. Back in. Constantly just firing off abilities and cutting out.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Wrecked. Now typically I would go Genji's Guard, but because I already have defense, I'm gonna get one of my personal favorite items, Talisman of Energy. Because I really do think Baron just, movement speed's important, you know? Against melee gods you saw last game, it allows you to make jukes. It allows you to juke. But even against a ranged god like Vulcan, it'll allow me to, you know, juke is 1, juke is 3 more often. Overall, just tilting the trades more in my favor. And also, people really undervalue how much, like, it's really important to tilt your opponent. Like, I love tilting people. It screws with people's head. People hate it. And when tilted, people just suck. everyone's not as good as they are.
Ta-da!
You know? So if I'm able to tilt this guy, just say 10%.
Free your soul to the other.
And he's 10% worse, you know. That's still good for me. Alright, now he's playing pretty well. As you can see, Vulcan, you know, Vulcan into Baron is actually a pretty good matchup for both gods because we match each other's range. It's not like last game, you know, where one's ranged and one is like, you know, melee, so one of us has to take L's to close gaps. It's like we both can play at range. But this is why when you're up, once again, just think about if you're up against a melee god right now. They essentially just can't pace with you.
Cannot even take a light tap.
Of course, Vulcan is the opposite. Vulcan can pace all day.
Ta-da!
This kind of translates into what I talk about, which is what like I always get countered, and that's why I'm sad. But it's okay, guys.
Can my snake wear this instead?
Against Vulcan, I'm just gonna get Aegis. You could tell me that you're gonna get Horrific Emblem, and I would honestly tell you that's a pretty good idea. I think Horrific is pretty good. I'm just not building it because I don't want to be that toxic, honestly. That would make the game too easy, because then he just wouldn't be able to juke.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Now's the hard part. This is once again like, I mean, who picks Vulcan? Like I play a duel all the time. I have not played against Vulcan in a very long time, but this is kind of the nature of the game, you know. Like, you don't control what your opponent picks, so every now and then you'll get hard matchups like this one. You have to adapt. It's just difficult because, as you can see, this guy, I mean, Vulcan has range for real.
Come, the party's this way. Ta-da! Master
I'm not
of
that
life and death.
I just had to get in on him.
Front stage.
He had no beads.
Ah,
I mean, as you can see, this is with 3 offensive items, 1 defensive item. I'm pretty tanky. And once again, you don't have to be super tanky if you can juke. Mobility is essentially health.
ta-da!
Talisman of Energy is also awesome because it gives you attack speed, which helps you push as a mage, which is kind of hard to do.
Ah,
I already have ult again, so I can actually fight him.
ta-da! It's time. Free your souls to the other side. Ah, ta-da!
Why wasn't that just twice cold?
Sorry, I had to mute myself for a second there, guys. I had to talk to my mom. And you see, like, you see the strength of Baron, right? You see just how much, with max cooldown, and once again, imagine if I had Genjis here. Because then I still have max cooldown, but I'd have the additional effect of this. You get 3 seconds off your cooldown. Now, it's only every 30 seconds, so, you know, take that with a grain of salt, but still, 3 seconds off your cooldown is no joke.
Just my style.
I'm just gonna get this. It gives pen. It also gives percentage scaling. The percentage scaling is just kind of OP because it scales really well. See, if you look here, it says blah blah blah, 20% damage. That's percentage scaling as well. She's in the bathroom.
Ta-da!
Give him that suck. 1 second, mom.
Ta-da!
Step into him. Cast your spell.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Oh, come on, man. How is he faster than... Oh, yeah, Vulcan has movement speed. Vulcan is really, like, honestly, like, if I had to say a god that counters Baron Samedi, Vulcan would be, like, one of those gods. He has just as much mobility. You know. He's magical, so you can't go Baron's strongest build against him. You have, you know, pretty good ways to disrupt my kit. I'm gonna go Gem because I think that guy last game kind of showed me the effectiveness of just, you know, the root you already have, the pulling effect of your ultimate, with the additional effect of having a slow is just ridiculously good. But yeah, Vulcan, like, this matchup is unique. Like, don't really look at this as representative of Baron. And you see, I mean, I am up 4-0. I mean, this is, I'm doing well. But I'm just saying, like, most of your games will, just being honest, be easier than this. Because there aren't many gods who also go max cooldown reduction and have just as much juking and pathing options as someone like Baron would. Oh, I didn't mean to shell it all. Come on, dude. Come on, dude. This is what I'm talking about when I say, like, Vulcan's pretty good. He's another juke-oriented god. As you see, I eventually got him, but, you know. Like I said, most of your games, you won't even have to play this well. You can literally just 3-2-1, 3-2-1 ult, you know? Bro. Guys, my music keeps stopping. It's hold on. I'm trying to, like, you know, jam out. Play some Smite. I don't listen to the game sounds anymore. It is useful, but honestly, I think it's overrated.
I like when these things fall.
I think it.
I
think your mechanics will get better if you can't hear anything, and you're forced to just play off visual cues. And it develops your spidey sense, which is what I just like to call, you know, your ability to, like, kind of tell what your opponent's going to do regardless of audio cues. Like, you don't need to hear footsteps if you just know they're coming. Like, you know, if that makes any sense at all. But as you can see, you know, you notice how I'm playing. I hit him with one combo, and then I just ulted. That's not even really the best way to play Baron. You know, the smartest way to play Baron is to use your combos and kind of, you know, poke them, like whittle them down, then ult. I'm just using ult because I know that I just do so much damage. It's not a bad play. I can still just whittle him down. And now, you know, I'm at the point where I get to sell Magi's for 10% more cooldown of my choice. You know, in a game of Conquest, you might go Spear of Desolation. In a game mode like Duel, you could go more defense. You know, the versatility is pretty endless. I might get a Genji's Guard. Not even for the defensive, but for the offensive utility. Like, I could 3-2-1, and then he hits me, takes 3 seconds off those cooldowns, which are already down to like about 6 seconds. I might just hit him with another root, and he's just going to die. Now, you might have been doing something people do with Duel, which is they'll long pause, then surrender. I hope that's not what he's doing, because that's gay. I don't know why people do that. But maybe he actually just had to do something. I'm about to figure it out. Now, as you can see, another thing Vulcan can do very well is just sit back and play super passive. We're both well aware of that fact. As you can see, he's clearly enjoying just sitting back and doing literally nothing. This is the most difficult part of a duel, ending against an opponent who likes to sit back. And once again, Vulcan, I'm telling you, Vulcan is a great god to play against Baron Samedi. I also think Poseidon's pretty good, that's why I banned Poseidon. so like, yay. I'm just gonna ult him. I don't even care. I'm getting bored.
I admire your strength.
It's over. Like, you know, like it's over. Anyway, hope that was helpful. Pick Baron. Baron OP. Jesus.